Hello there, Jon Favreau. Oh man, we've got a lot to talk about today. 2 points that I want to cover, and the first one is talking about the boxes, and the second one is talking about naughty cyber criminals. So what I did was I went back and watched the live stream, not the Star Wars live stream, the Marvel Legends Marvel live stream. And hey, those guys are just using the same room. I don't know if you've noticed. And they're all having the same issues. Everyone's like really wooden and stiff and looks nervous, and they're all looking at the wrong cameraman.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, they talked about all the new Marvel figures, and then at the end they were like, "Oh, look, by the way, here are some Spider-Man boxes with no windows in them." And so we've got a lot of images that have been circulating on social media of the new Hasbro style packaging, like minus the windows. And obviously this has sparked a lot of debate and discussion, which it should. And it's a tough one. I just don't know how people are going to adjust to this. It's such a massive radical change. You know, it kind of goes to the very heart of the whole subculture, like the whole kind of the psyche of collecting action figures, and especially for the older Star Wars. I think for the TVC crew, those guys that collect the 3.75, and they really love the whole, you know, the fact that it looks like a can of car back and it has a bubble and it's very nostalgic, and then suddenly that's gonna be gone. So I'd imagine that Hasbro would try to phase out the windows slowly and not just do it in one, you know, swift stroke, because that would just that would be too much. That would be bloodshed. So they're doing it with Marvel first, and then they'll probably, I don't know, maybe they'll extend it to other lines like G.I. Joe, and then Star Wars. No, I was talking to a lot of people online this week, and the consensus is everyone's unhappy. I mean, I haven't found a single person that's like, yay, no windows. For Black Series collectors, I think that the transition period, like adjusting to windowless packaging, I think will be easier for them. But again, like I said, with the TVC, with the vintage collection, I think it's going to be it's going to be a rough ride. I'm just wondering, for the TVC, do they have to complete the original 96 first? I mean, at least, you know, get those out there so people have a chance to get that entire collection, and then you can start phasing out the bubbles. I know it just sounds weird just saying it. No bubbles. How can you? Okay, so the second thing I wanted to talk about today is basically getting ripped off, and it's getting worse and worse. And I think having the windowless packaging is just, now the scammers and the criminals are like, ooh, this is such a great opportunity to rip off like twice as many people as I was. It's asking for trouble. I mean, yeah, like the ecosystem is growing, right? E-commerce is like really growing, especially because we had the pandemic and everyone was stuck at home, lockdown, and people have gotten into the habit of shopping online a lot more than they did before. And but that's also going to increase the problem of naughty people online who are going to, it's like taking candy from a baby now. With the, you know, there's lots of collectors who are like, have been doing this a super long time, and they'll all have stories and tell you, yeah, that happened to me. And it's just like, everybody's been ripped off once or twice, and then you learn. You know, you get your fingers burned by putting, and then you're like, and then you become wise. You wise up. But I don't know, man. It's like, I think that it's getting too easy now to scam people. I mean, so I like that the Facebook groups are, most of them now are a lot smaller than they used to be. Because like before, it would be open a group and then try to get as many members as you can, because it looks fantastic. Look, we've got thousands and thousands of people in our groups. Like, who cares? It's unsafe. So now you've got TVC groups and Black Series groups, which are like cozy and small. Everybody knows each other and everybody trusts each other. The key word is trust. Jedi mind trick. Because like, I had an experience this week with one of my like a super nice guy, one of my customers. He got ripped off, and he said like, I feel really dumb, I feel really embarrassed, it's my fault, I shouldn't have trusted this guy, I used PayPal, I used friends and family and blah blah blah, there were loads of red flags and I should have seen them and they were right in front of me, and now he's really kicking himself. But yeah, I've been through that as well, a lot of collectors have been through that, and I think that it's a responsibility of like people who are leaders, admins and moderators, and yeah, I mean, if you put yourself out there, like myself, I always put myself out there as like a kind of in a like a very prominent role, because I'm a retailer and I want to show my face. I don't like that you know, you're selling something and you're just showing people pictures of the products, but then they can't associate the product with a company's name and a face, because I think it's that when you're doing this online, it's all about trust. So that's why I'm sitting in front of this camera and I'm doing all these vlogs and I'm talking to people every day on Facebook. I mean, I know an awful lot about my customers. I chat with them like socially as well, and I keep myself really busy because I need to know them. But yeah, so like one of my customers got ripped off, and then he was like super pissed, and he said that, you know, fuck it, I'm never going to trust anybody online again, I'm never going to use PayPal again, and that's what happens. So it's bad for business, it's bad for everyone. So having these windowless packages, oh man, I mean, there could be anything in those boxes. How do you know what's in that box? This is the problem, right? So someone's gonna send you, good luck with your Rose Tico collection. It's gonna be lots of Rose Ticos and Admiral Holdos being sold. Another recent example of a scam is, I was in one of the Kenner vintage groups, and there's a person who's trying to sell a Yakface. The Yakface from the Power of the Force 1 that came out in like 1984, 1985, and it's super rare. It's got like a tri-logo card back to it. I actually have one in my collection, and I'm just going to hold on to it. I'm not going to sell it because the price it's like the blue snaggletooth. It's really, really, really desirable. But someone's basically taken the upper half of the body and then stuck it on a pair of legs, which are Smith Lord creations. I don't know if you remember that guy, SLC is on the back of the leg, and there's nothing wrong with what he did. I mean, like Smith Lord, a couple of years ago, he decided to launch his custom business, and he wanted to help people that couldn't afford those, you know, auction astronomical prices, and they could have their own carded Yakface or their own blue snaggletooth, right? And he also came up with his own new designs as well, which are really cool. So there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's just another customizer. There's lots of people. That's such a really big market, isn't it, for action figure lovers, especially the vintage. Like I think for the older generation, they like to have those custom card backs, and they like to have those customized figures. So anyway, but someone had like taken the legs off of one of his customized Yakfaces and basically stuck it onto the upper torso of a real Yakface, and then was charging like a really, really super high price, and then people called him out on it, and yeah. So I mean, these people exist. There's just, and they're very creative. They'll just keep on coming up with new ways to fool you, and that's why it's super important that we have these places that we can go to, the the Facebook groups where you've got people there who are like encyclopedias. Like, they have so much knowledge and so much experience, and you can really learn from them, and then that will help you to protect yourself and not get ripped off. Right, I'm going to give a big shout out to Chaz the Guru. Hello there. Hello there. Go follow Chaz the Guru on Instagram, and basically what he does is make these outrageous memes every day, which poke fun of the whole action figure culture, and poking fun of Hasbro as well. And I think, like we do when times get really frustrating, like now, we do need to keep our sense of humor. Yeah, so go and check him out. I'm always sharing his memes on my Instagram, and I think he's a super funny guy. All right then, that's enough for today. Don't forget, please comment in the comment section below. I will be doing part 2 of my Easter story, my action figure posing story. I've got Psycho Bunny. He's going to make an appearance, and we'll see how that story ends. All right, guys. Trust is the key. Trust in the Force.